Hey YouTube, it's Joel again, here to review BulletStorm Full Clip Edition. Now normally with remasters you just have to review the remaster. But Gearbox, I gotta review the original and the remastered. So here we go, let's go back to 2011, where Uncharted 3, Batman Arkham City, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 came out. All three were good games, but I think BulletStorm is very underrated and the best one out of the bunch, because I like first-person shooters, and this game was about chaos, fun. Two things you don't see in video games very often, and it was freaking fun. I loved it. You could take a guy and whip him, pull him back, and it goes into this slow-mo thing and shoot him, or either you kick him, and then either he goes into a pit of spikes, or onto a wall, or into water, or into lava, or into gears and grinds up. It's awesome chaos. So, the story. You start off as Grayson following orders from Serrano. And in the first mission, you figure out he's a bad guy. So the rest of the game, you're trying to kill Serrano. And the game ends abruptly and on a cliffhanger. And it's great. 6 to 8 hours long, sometimes 10, depending on how high you crank up the difficulty. And the graphics were amazing for the time. The venues, the look of it. Gearbox did fantastic. And I commend them for it. A+ game, perfect. Now, for 2017. What happened? Gearbox, really, what happened? You had this great game, this beautiful game. You could have put the graphics at 60 frames per second and made them beautiful. And you didn't. Oh, I forgot the key thing to this. It has all the DLC. Oh, and the fun part. Duke Nukem. One of my favorite characters since Duke Nukem 3D. Actually, before that, I actually played Duke 2 on one of those really old computers. So I was a fan of Duke Nukem for a really long time. And you put him in the game from Duke Nukem Forever, which was a sucky game, but you took his character model, which was very much Duke, and you put him in this game. And you get the original voice actor, who is amazing for Duke. And yeah, messed it up. So, graphics-wise, it doesn't run smoothly at 60 frames per second. Every time it decides to save your game or needs to load a new area, it freezes, like it did on an Xbox 360. What happened? I'm sorry, Gearbox, but that's unacceptable for being a modern AAA game that you're going to shell out $60 to buy, because it's not half-priced, it's not discounted, it's a full-price $60 game that you didn't even try to attempt to make it any better than the original BulletStorm. And then on top of that, you put one of my favorite characters from video game history into this game. This is the second time you have screwed up Duke freaking Nukem. This time, on the other hand, you put Duke Nukem in an awesome game that he could have been awesome in. You put new lines from the original voice actor into this game, and you can't even sync his lips with his voice at all. Listen to this. I like BulletStorm. Now imagine if I said it like this. And then I like BulletStorm comes out and his lips are not even moving. In sync with the game. Why? And then on top of that, some of Duke's lines make sense. Like at the beginning of the game, he's like, "Why am I in this freaking game? It doesn't make any sense." And then a character would come up to you and ask you something. You'd be like, "Who is this freaking guy?" It makes sense. Duke Nukem was not in this world, it makes perfect sense. He just showed up out of the middle of nowhere, and here's Duke. Who is this freaking guy? Some of those lines make sense. Other lines are just horrendously stupid and out of place. And then others just don't make any sense with the game. And then the lip sync is not even there. I like BulletStorm. Or I like BulletStorm. Why? Why did you do this, Gearbox? Why? So, the original game, I give it an A+. I love the game. 2011 was fantastic. It had some of the most epic games you could buy for video game consoles. 2017, on the other hand, do not go out and buy BulletStorm at full price. Buy it when it's $20 on sale. And do not play as Duke Nukem. Play as Grayson, the original character from the game. Much better experience. And then on top of that, if you have a 360 still, buy it for that console. If you still have a PC, buy it on Steam, but not the full clip edition. Because on PC, all the extra added options make it look as good as the remaster. So, buy it for cheap, but it's still an awesome game to go out and buy. The remastered edition, because it's $60, I give it a D. If it was $20 and came out even $30, I'd have gave it a C+, because it's worth it at half price, because it was a half-assed remastered.